This is day 52 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor a shir or more of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. Today is Siman Lamed Beis Sif Kav Ches to Siman Lamed Beis Sif Lamed Dalet. Sif Kav Ches. Ein L'sholden Ken Ekos V'Atura Poskim Benikev Harega Pnim L'Sholahei. Initial Koshu Kosher. If the internal leg of the hay, that means the one on the left, it has a hole. If there's anything left, it's kosher. Regular haymini, if the right hand leg, which is the lower leg, which is attached to the top of the hay, gets a hole, the kanisha owes katana, because katana kosher. It has to have at least enough left to make a small letter. The question is, if there's a hole, then there is no surrounding parchment. The Rambam says you need to have surrounding parchment. And here, the hole, obviously, is in the middle of the letter, so the letter's not surrounded by parchment. The times that Diktik Rabbeinu, Beis Yosef, is Sidur Get Ashkenazi. I wonder what Sidur Get Ashkenazi is. To distinguish between before writing and afterwards. Kamavur B'Sifra Agodo. They don't need a distinction before and after. Interesting answer. In terms of the parchment having the surrounding letter, even the letter beyond the hole, which is severed from the main trunk of the letter, counts, and therefore it's mukav gvil, not because of the hole. The hole is not gvil, but because the mukav gvil of the letter beyond the hole. He says, "Ra'brula zeh," the clear-cut evidence. This is already Rashi's album Nachos. Piresh ifsuk al ifsuk kara the vav the vayarog. Well, he explains that which he says that the leg of the vav of the arog had a hole, was severed. Piresh Rashi shavav ira b'makom nekev. He says that not that the vav was partially erased, but that the vav happened on a hole. And today on nekev b'shlas ksiva, and this hole was even at the time of ksiva. It didn't come afterwards. There is no chiluk like the Sidur Get Ashkenazi and the Beis Yosef want to say between the Shas Ksiva and then after Shas Ksiva. The only Shas Ksiva should require Mukav Gvil and not after Shas Ksiva. He's talking about where the hole was even there Shas Ksiva. He writes in the brackets, "V'chein kasav Drisha Os Hey V'Nishar B'Kushi Ayin Sham." Usually has this difficult. Avoid low kosher clouds, but rather it's not difficult. We require the amount of a small lettering line without the interruption of the whole. The located, if that's the case, Ein Shem Oslav doesn't have the Chalei Shem Ois. But once it has the Chalei Shem Ois, in terms of Mukak Gvil, we also think on Mashal Aka Nekev, that which is beyond the whole of Mukak Gvil. There's Mukak Gvil. So the Mishnah Berurah writes, you need to have the above the hole, Oskana, but Sulolo doesn't count, even if a child will read that along to the upper part of the letter, since we see that, the adults, that's not the Tzura, so it's properly based on the hole. That's the Biur Halacha, that we don't include that which is below the hole, even if you can't tell readily that there is a gap. That's very nice, but it doesn't explain the Mukav Gvil issue, which the Arukh HaShulchan just dealt with. According to this, the words of Beis Yosef in the Shulchan are astonishing. The Besita is because of Kolosh Natur. Sub Sita is because of the Rambam. Famous Sosrim Zeh Lo Zeh. So the question is, let's see. Things down here at the bottom of the Mishnah Berurah resolves that according to this opinion, if the hole is in the middle of the letter, even if it was there before the writing, it's kosher, because obviously there's parchment around the hole. And that what the Shulchan says, if it came afterwards, it's because l'chatchila you shouldn't write in a way that the hole is in the middle of the letter, and even if the hole doesn't fill the entire middle of the letter, leaving parts on all sides. But if you did violate that and write, even if the hole was there before it was written, it's kosher bein tzarich tikun. Okay, so name it. The question is, the Rambam, as I said, does not mention before or after. The Torah does mention before and after, as they seem to contradict one another. With the fact that Arukh HaShulchan quite tamu Allah bezeh. So he says, therefore, it must be the Olam Sober Rambam. It really holds like the Rambam. Zeshkas of Lashon HaTur, and that which he wrote the Rambam that the Rambam that says that no, I made a mistake afterwards. Before the Torah is the one that does distinguish between before and after. The Rambam does. Rambam distinguishes between the before and after. It's the Torah does not. The last sif to the Arukh HaShulchan is coming to Miyashi the Torah, and now he's coming to explain that the Shulchan Aruch really holds like the Rambam, that there is such a distinction. The Zesh Klas of Lashon HaTorah, that which wrote the language of the Torah, the Fidas HaTorah, because according to the Torah, so our Shas Shalonu, our Shas Od Z'Mivnim, Einser Chekek Vil. Inside a hole which fulfill the entire inside of a letter wouldn't be a problem, even there's no parchment left. The Shalol Horas came, in order not to paskin like this, Hatik L'Shono, he copied his language to tell us that Fil Das HaTorah ain't halacha came. Yerushalmi unfortunately tzarich halacha is not like, because Yerushalmi says you need to have muka gvil even in the middle of the letter. The koshka divrei Rambam, it's only according to Rambam. Kuli Alma Sormakein. Everybody will hold this way because there has to be muka gvil. The muka gvil at the beginning when it's written. So it's not afkina. He copied the Torah's lashon because he wanted to write the most concise way possible. There's the brackets here. It says, that the Chalik ben Dibuk benekeb, that the Torah holds the distinction between letters connecting and a whole. Tamua, it's astonishing. The imkev, that's the case. I feel nekeb b'chutz ain't a place of. Even the whole outside shouldn't pass. So koshkem, if it's certainly on the inside. Came to my prima godim. We asked the prima godim. Prima mission says zav sifkad down sifkad. The guy's lo avin. I don't understand that. Prima godim einsham shaloshono megum gum. It's not clear what he means. Mr. Bura writes that if in his conclusion, if after the letter was written properly, there was a hole, it's kosher. But it's only b'di'evet. But if you can fix it, it's like lechatchila, and you should fix it. Therefore, if there's a hole in the side of a letter and it's thick, then you should remove the letter stick. You should remove a little bit of the ink, so that it will be again mukav gvil. There's the hole the hole touching the letter, scrape off a little bit of ink, so then there's the gap between the hole and the letter, and it's considered mukav gvil again. Simon Lamed, Kvar Nizbaer. It's already been established. The Das HaTorah, Benike regularly, meaning the meaning of the Torah is that where the right leg, Bahei, has a hole, certainly stark is kind of have to have enough left to write a small letter. Avorego Pnimi Gama Mashu Kosher, but if it's the internal leg, even a Mashu is good enough. Zel Das HaRosh. It's the Rosh opinion about a sharp place game. So those require that the short leg on the left have the amount of an os ketana. Find a yud, and an os ketana is the shear of a yud. Nifsak ba'ovyo. If there is an interruption in the width of that little chupchik on the left side of the hay, in the chut radakosh, as long as there's enough to form a very narrow thread, it's kosher b'achilus, and this is the halacha. There's a lot of Mishnah on this for some reason. Mishnah says, if there's no chisaron, no problem of mukav vil, such as where the hole got the hole came after the writing, that's when we are not. That's in the regal pneumia's kosher would be kosher b'mashu, but otherwise it's. But if it was not mukav gvil at the time of ksiva, so it's possible even if you have a nishtar muklos ketana, even according to the Rosh himself. The Mishnah says that also that Osktan is a Yud, including the lower Akotz Atachton Shalo, I guess, which includes that the extension on the right, not on the left. And he writes that the poskim are machmir, like this opinion, Mikra Adin. Nevertheless, you can fix it, and there's no problem shul kasidron because it retains the shape of the letter. Mishnah writes, similar to Arukh HaShulchan, that if you have something which looks like a scratch as the leg of the hay, that's okay, because there's no shear to the thickness of letters. But in Sivkotam Memalef, he brings that he says it differently. He says that there's a scratch mark there, like a vav or a narrow vav or narrow yud. That's kosher. Then that manner, I don't say that there's no shear to the letters. Bialacha also brings that there has to be a thickness like a vav or a yud, and it seems Bialacha is not sure, in fact, which is the proper way. Actually, if there's no shear at all, if it's a shear of a very, very thin yud or vav. Lamnav, Kosher b'seim b'al Shulchan Aruch b'sif tezayin. The Shulchan Aruch writes that nifsak achas me'osios abshutos. If one of the simple straight letters got interrupted, called vav or zayin v'chayetz b'hem, if a child who's neither too smart or too stupid, the daily crosser knows that reading kosher, it's a good. In lab positive now, it's no good. You don't have to cover from the other letters. Like people have the custom, some people cover the other letters when they show it to a tinok, so you shouldn't be able to know the how to read it based on the letters around it. Miu, however, if we see that the form of the letter does not remain properly, or the leg of an alf has become severed, nevertheless it's possible, even though the child can't read it properly. In brackets here, and then there's some Gersa issue which will not concern us. Lamed base. Understand previous halacha is on the basis of the rivash. As shown, this is what he says. The lomar kriyas tinok, that which a child reads, does not work only where this letter can be construed as another letter. But where the psul is because its form is damaged, well, that does not work. You can't therefore say that it's kosher if the left leg of an olive does not touch the middle diagonal part. And even you can't olive, even a child can read his olive, doesn't matter. Of course, the child, just because the letter is severed, won't make a mistake. Nevertheless, it's possible. It's something about olive where its yuds do not reach the diagonal body. Also, the middle part of the pay, which does, if it doesn't reach the top of the pay, person the thing will read it like a pay. This is his language. It's obviously you can't say it's kosher just because a child can read it. We don't only say this when the letter is severed or it's missing the proper measure. Such as a cut vav. If we're not sure that it looks like a vav, or maybe it looks more like a yud. That the reading of the child works. Since he read it vav, and you not read it as a yud. But it's obvious that the letter no longer retains its form. What good does it do for a child to be able to read it? I see it. So that the letter is not its proper form. Ad kan l'shoinai. Okay, days borrowed the Shulchan Aruch. Lamed Gimel. Fizeh bevav katzor hadom mele yud. So a short vav which may look like a yud. A yud aruch the mele vav, or a long yud which might look like a vav. A zayin katzor the mele yud, or it's more zayin which looks like yud. A zayin aruch or long zayin, adoim el nun pshuta, which is like a simple nun, meaning a nun sofis. Obeys a gol hadam lekaf kufa, or a base which is rounded, so it looks like a cuff. O kaf meruba dam base, or a cuff which is squared, so it looks like a base. O dalit shibarosho katzar, that with a short handle on the right. V'daim elavav, no, a short handle on the left, so it looks like above. Sorry. Avav shosharocha v'daim ledal, or vav which has a long handle on the right, on the left, so it looks like dalit. Odal shat study shlo orach adem kavshuta, or dalit where its side is long and looks like a chav sofis. A chav pshuta shat study katzor, or chav sofis, which is short and looks like a dalit. Or gimel sharosh or tachlo mechubar v'daim nun kufa, or gimel where the top of the gimel is connected and looks like a nun which is bent over. A nun kfufa, or bent over nun sharosh or rosh tachlo ein mechubar, where the bottom of the head is not connected. The doim of gimel, it's like a gimel. I made a mistake. That's not what it means. A ro gimel sharosh hatachton mechubar. The rosh hatachton means the bottom. The rosh hatachton, the bottom top, the top bottom. Meaning that the bottom part of the gimel is mechubar. Doesn't have that little slender leg going out to the right. So therefore, it looks like a nun, or the conversely, you have a nun which might have a slight leg going out and look like a gimel. Or hey, which its left part is connected in a way that it looks like a ches. So ches shesmali eno mechubar, or ches that's not connected to hey, looks like hey. Hey shirech smali eno nikar betuv, or hey where the left leg is not so clear. The daimel dal never looks like dalet. Or vav shakavo be'emtza, the daimel is zayin, or vav where the line is in the middle, hits the head in the middle, it looks like a zayin. Or zayin shakav be'hatzad, or zayin where the line is on the side. The daimel above, it's on above, it looks like above. All these things, the reading of a child is effective. Where their heads are not connected to the lines, the reading of the child does not help. So do in all similar letters. Brings her back at Ayin Shari Tshuva, which same begin as running the cup Shuta B'Sov Shita. If you have a simple chaf service at the end of a line, that you extend it in order, I guess, to make justified margins. So now it looks like a dal or resh. You can be lean because it's clear that they extend it in order to justify the column. Ayin shom. So Arukh HaShulchan ve'ein shum ta'am b'zeh. There's no reason to assume this. I feel b'shas adchak possible. In b'shas adchak it's possible. Atina kora dalet or resh. Shai dvar is bar simulam vav, and the rest will be explained later on. Several Mishnah Berurahs here. The Mishnah Berurah writes that if the Zion's leg has become shortened, it's like a vav that has to be shown to a child. Regarding specifically mekel, it's enough if there's left of the foot. Kamlo is kana. The Chaim Shari Ephraim are machmir in this. In name it, they showed it to a child, and he didn't read it as a Zion. If you read it as a vav, you certainly can't be mekel, and it doesn't even work to fix it in tefillin, because it's going to be shloka sidra. That can mean the order. The Mishnah Berurah writes that if a base looks like a cuff, it's puzzle, and if it's a suffix, you show it to a child. If you made the base rounded on top and square from the bottom, that's going to be a separate case that's going to come up later on. Mishnah Berurah writes that you have to make the length of the chaf double the width of its roof, and this because some people are machmer and place even with the evid if it's not written properly because it looks too much like a dalet. Mishnah Berurah also writes that if the hay looks like a ches, even by a very slight touch, like a hairbreadth, it's possible. Even though a child knows it's a hay. The Shmuel also writes that the length of the nekuda of the hay should not be less than the length of a yud, including, it says before, including its lower leg on the right. And it's required even with the Evid. But Tikkun works to this if the child can read it like a hay, and there's no problem with Shluka Sidra. I think it's a Meshapur for this Sif. Yeah. Lamadal. Ma'otinak lo chochim. What's the term of the child who's not too bright? Shana maybe he doesn't understand the context, the issues being discussed. The because when he understands, he'll say it on the basis of what's being discussed. Eliminate tmunasos, not because of what the letter looks like. Flotipe, she also shouldn't be stupid. Who should the meaning? Who should they take tmunasos? He knows very well what letters are supposed to look like. Mr. Boer writes that he knows to read the letters even though he doesn't know so much how they look. Whereas when he sees them, he reads them, he might not be able to write them from memory or something like that. Back to Arukh HaShulchan, and that which they said you don't have to cover that which before and after letter. But obviously the came which maybe so it's about child doesn't understand from the context. Why do we have to cover it? Nevertheless, you have to cover what's ahead of the letter, which would be judging, not afterwards, not behind it. By the time the reason, no, the other way around. You have to, tzolfar means before the letter you're reading, you have to cover it, not after the letter you're reading. The Chashin Shem Evi. This is because we suspect that maybe you understand what's going on a little bit. Okay, if not, what's the problem? There's no issue. And that is the minute to cover that which is before the letter. Mr. Boer writes here, first of all, that that you have to cover what's before until this letter, until this word. But the word itself, and that which comes afterward, you don't have to cover. They got the Arukh HaShulchan. Actually, lie with a short vav on the child's reading to make sure it's not a yud. Zeb katzor gamre. That is that's where it's very short. No, but that's where it's short. Sorry, it's really short. In other words, it's not severed. But it's severed in the middle. We don't lie on him. Him to say it's vav. It's because in his mind the two parts of the vav are connected. So in that case, you have to cover the lower part of the vav. Some people argue this is don't suspect the person's going to say, the kid's going to say what he says because he's going to combine the parts in his mind. Primarily is what we wrote. So this is where the letter was ruined after the writing. Or the Sefer wrote it originally like this. The Bekulam Song of Kriyas Tinach, we rely on the reading of the child. Not like those who argue with Filu hold the low was something of Kriyas now. We only rely on a letter which went back. The low Mashaklas of Sefer Mitchila, and now it's just Sefer wrote initially. The Ein Shum Tam Lechalik Bezeh. There's no reason to make such a distinction.